Okay, so here I will show you different primitive type variables. So we see 8 of them, but the ones that we'll use now is integer, long, double, byte, and short. So they're all taking in numbers, okay, but some of them taking bigger numbers, some of them smaller numbers, and some of them taking with the numbers with the decimals. So let's try to have an example. Right click on a first package, say new Java class, and say employee info. Once we create this class, let's create a main method here, public static void main string square brackets args. Right here, let's say we have employee and we will give an information about the employee. The first thing, employee will have the phone number, right? So we will say, hey, phone number, integer phone number equals to, I'm gonna give some random phone number, 312-123-4567. Okay, so here we are trying to assign this phone number, which is a really large number, into the phone number integer variable. But integer variable has some range that it can accept the numbers between. It will not accept this number because it is exceeding the range of the integer, and we cannot really assign this number there. So which variable takes bigger numbers? It is a long, so we can say long phone number equals to this number. It is still complaining because Java automatically takes this number as a integer. So, and it says, hey, I'm trying to assign this integer into the long, which I cannot do that. And we need to say explicitly that this number is going to be a long by putting this L letter at the end of this number. Great, so here, this is our phone number. And let's say student has an age, okay, for the age, usually it goes from 150 to 150, right? So the thing is, we're gonna use smaller number, which is, we're going to store it on a different variable, which is a byte. The smallest number will go to the byte, and we'll say byte age equals to, let's say, 25. Okay, and let's say student, the employee will have an ID. So we're gonna say employee ID. And for the ID, it's not going to be really big number. We can use for it as short employee ID equals, let's say, 101. So we have these three variables, okay, which is long, byte, short. What is the difference between long, byte, short, and integer? They are just the range of the numbers they accept. Okay, the smallest number that variable accepts, it is the byte. Byte will be the smallest, then it will be the short, then it will be integer, and then it will be a long. So we will say byte, short, integer, and long. Okay, so this is 4 variables that takes a whole number, okay, which is whole number. And the only difference between them is their sizes, okay, the ranges that they can accept the numbers between, okay. Byte will accept the smallest number, short will accept bigger than the byte, but the smaller than integer, and integer will accept bigger than short and byte, but smaller than long. Okay, this is the main difference between those 3 variables. And we can print these numbers. We can say system out println. Okay, so we will say phone number is class phone number. So let's make sure they're working. System out println. Age is class age, and system out println. Employee ID is employee ID. Okay, as I said, all these 4 variables are the same, but only the difference between them, they are accepting different ranges of the numbers. Here we go. All the variables did work.